My name is Jamie Thompson, and I was 24 when my world shattered. I sat in the leather conference room of Thompson Enterprises, the tech company my grandmother built from her garage 40 years ago. Jamie, my father said, avoiding my eyes, we've reached a decision. My older sister Ashley smirked from across the mahogany table. My younger sister Amanda examined her phone like this conversation bored her. Mom sat frozen, which hurt most of all. You're not executive material, Dad continued. Ashley will take over as CEO when I retire. Amanda will head marketing. You can stay in customer service. Customer service. After my computer science degree. After working unpaid overtime for 3 years. After believing family meant loyalty. This is temporary, right? I whispered. Dad shook his head. It's permanent, Jamie. Accept your role. That word, accept, ignited something dangerous inside me. The room felt smaller suddenly. These people who were supposed to love me had just declared me worthless. But they were wrong. If you like our revenge stories, please subscribe for more. We drop powerful new stories every week, filled with truth, emotion, and justice. Don't miss the next one. And remember, some stories hurt, but they heal too. Subscribe now and join the journey. Sleep wouldn't come that night. Something felt rehearsed about the meeting. Too smooth. Too final. I crept into Dad's home office and found his laptop still logged in. The email thread made my stomach drop. Ashley to Dad. Jamie's getting too much attention from the board. They actually listen to her ideas. We need to shut this down before she threatens our positions. Amanda to Dad. Jamie's software ideas are too expensive and risky. She'll bankrupt us with her innovation dreams if she gets real power. Mom to Dad. Maybe we should give Jamie more responsibility. She's earned it. Dad to Mom. Jamie disrupts the natural order. Ashley is oldest. Amanda has marketing talent. Jamie needs to accept supporting roles. But the final email destroyed me completely. Ashley to Dad. I heard Jamie talking to board members about updating our systems. They're starting to think she should run technology operations. We have to stop this now. They weren't protecting the company. They were protecting themselves from my potential. Because secretly, they knew I was better than both of them. The next morning, I printed every email and walked into Dad's office. You planned this, I said, dropping the papers on his desk. His face went red. You accessed my private emails? You conspired against your own daughter. Ashley appeared in the doorway. What's the drama now? Dad grabbed the papers. Jamie thinks she deserves special treatment. You're lucky we're keeping you at all, Ashley sneered. Most families would fire relatives who can't accept their place. Maybe you should, I said quietly. The room went dead silent. What? Dad whispered. If I'm such a threat, maybe I should leave. Don't be childish, Amanda said, joining us. Just take customer service and stop making everything about yourself. I looked at these people who'd shaped my entire world. These people who were supposed to champion my dreams. Instead, they'd murdered them in secret meetings. Fine, I said, standing up. I quit. Everything. Jamie, wait. Mom started. I'm done with all of you, I said. Don't contact me. Ever. I walked out of Thompson Enterprises forever. If you like our revenge stories, please subscribe for more. We drop powerful new stories every week, filled with truth, emotion, and justice. Don't miss the next one. And remember, some stories hurt, but they heal too. Subscribe now and join the journey. I had $1,200 in savings and nowhere to go. My apartment was company-owned. My car was a company lease. Even my credit cards were tied to family accounts. Within days, I was sleeping on my college friend's couch and working at a coffee shop for minimum wage. This is just temporary, I told myself every morning. But days became weeks, became months. The coffee shop customers treated me like I was invisible. My family never called. Friends stopped inviting me out when they realized I couldn't afford anything anymore. One morning, I found a business magazine someone left behind. Thompson Enterprises had just launched a major software update. Ashley was quoted. We're a family company that values tradition and stability over risky innovation. Innovation. The word they'd used to dismiss every idea I'd ever had. But seeing their success without me lit a fire in my chest. If they could run a tech empire, so could I. I just had to figure out how. Starting with nothing. I spent every break at the coffee shop learning online courses about coding, business management, startup funding. Every dollar I earned went to software subscriptions and technical books. "You're wasting your time," said Joy, the shop manager. "Rich girls don't become poor and then get rich again. That only happens in movies." But Joy was wrong. I wasn't trying to get my old life back. I was building something completely different. I studied Thompson Enterprises like a military strategist studying enemy territory. I knew their software, their weaknesses, their outdated systems. Dad had taught me the business without realizing he was training his future competitor. After 8 months of preparation, I had my strategy. Start small. Build better software. Focus on customers Thompson ignored. Use modern technology Dad refused to adopt. Treat employees like humans, not machines. Most importantly, stay invisible until I was too powerful to stop. The war was about to begin, and they had no idea I was coming. My first client was a small bakery needing a simple inventory system. I charged $500 and built it in 2 weeks using skills I'd learned in my coffee shop classroom. "This is amazing," said the owner, Mrs. Patterson. "The system Thompson Enterprises quoted would have cost $10,000 and taken 3 months. I believe technology should serve people, not complicate their lives," I said. "What's your company name?" I hadn't thought about that yet. "Stellar Solutions," I said suddenly. "We make your business shine." Mrs. Patterson smiled. "I love it. Do you have a card?" I didn't have cards yet. But I had something better. My first satisfied customer who would tell every small business owner she knew about the young woman who built excellent software for fair prices. Word of mouth was about to become my secret weapon against the family that had discarded me. Within a month, I had 3 more clients and $2,000 in revenue. The phoenix was rising from the ashes. 1 year after leaving Thompson Enterprises, Stellar Solutions had 15 clients and generated $50,000 in revenue. I hired my first employee, Joy, who'd quit the coffee shop to become my office manager. "Why'd you choose me?" she asked on her first day. "Because you're organized, loyal, and you believed in me when nobody else did," I said. "That matters more than experience." Joy became more than an employee. She became my first ally in building something different from Thompson Enterprises. We answered every email personally. We finished projects early. We treated every client like they were our only client. But I was still living in a studio apartment, eating ramen noodles, and driving a 10-year-old Honda. "You should pay yourself more," Joy suggested. "You deserve it." "Not yet," I said. "Every dollar goes back into growth." I had bigger dreams than anyone realized. Thompson Enterprises had taught me something crucial. Get comfortable, and someone hungrier will eventually destroy you. I planned to be that someone. The family that had cast me out had no idea what they'd created. Year 2 brought my first major contract. Developing custom software for a regional hospital chain. The project was worth $800,000, more than Stellar Solutions had made in its entire existence. The client, Dr. Williams, had initially approached Thompson Enterprises. They wanted twice as much money and said the timeline was unrealistic, she told me. Their attitude was basically take it or leave it, we don't need your business. "We'll do it for 40% less and deliver 2 weeks early," I promised. "How can you guarantee that?" "Because we're hungry and they've gotten lazy." It was a massive risk. If we failed, Stellar Solutions would be bankrupt. But if we succeeded, we'd prove we could compete with established companies. Joy and I worked 16-hour days. I hired 6 programmers and rented serious office space. For 4 months, that hospital software was our entire universe. When we delivered 1 week ahead of schedule, Dr. Williams called it the smoothest technology implementation we've ever experienced. Stellar Solutions was no longer just surviving, we were thriving. And my family still had no idea I existed. The regional tech magazine featured our hospital project on the cover. The headline read, "Local Startup Challenges Industry Giants with Innovation and Service." I was quoted saying, "Great software should make people's jobs easier, not harder." We build solutions, not complications. The article mentioned that I'd started with almost nothing and built the company through determination and customer focus in just 2 years. What it didn't mention was my real last name or connection to Thompson Enterprises. 3 days later, Joy burst into my new corner office. "Your sister's in the lobby," she said breathlessly. Through the glass walls, I saw Ashley Thompson in an expensive suit, arms crossed, looking furious. It had been 2 years since I'd walked out. 2 years of complete silence from my family. Now Ashley was here, which meant only one thing. They'd finally discovered who was behind Stellar Solutions. The real war was about to begin, and I was ready for it. Well, Ashley said as I walked into the lobby. "My little sister, the entrepreneur." "Ashley," I kept my voice completely neutral. "Stellar Solutions?" She laughed coldly. "Really? You couldn't think of something more original?" "What do you want?" "Dad wants to see you. Family dinner. Sunday night." I almost laughed. After 2 years of silence, now they wanted family dinner? "Why now?" I asked. Ashley's fake smile disappeared. "Because you're becoming a problem." "I'm running a legitimate business." "You're stealing our clients and undercutting our prices," she snapped. "That hospital was our client first." "The hospital came to me because you treated them poorly. We treated them like every other client." "Exactly," I said. "That's your problem. You've forgotten that customers are people, not ATM machines." Ashley stepped closer, trying to intimidate me. "This stops now, Jamie. Sell the company or shut it down. We'll give you your old job back. Better salary than before." "No." "Then this gets ugly." I smiled for the first time since she'd arrived. "It was always going to get ugly, Ashley. You just didn't realize it yet." I hadn't been to the family house in 2 years. Everything looked the same. Perfect landscaping, expensive cars, the smell of Mom's famous lasagna drifting from the kitchen. But I had changed completely. I wore a designer dress now, drove a new car I paid for myself, carried myself like a woman who'd built something from nothing. "Jamie," Mom said, opening the door. She looked older, more worried. "You look successful," I finished. Dad and Amanda were already at the dining table, the same table where they'd decided I wasn't good enough for the family business. "Sit down," Dad said without looking up. I sat in my old chair. Ashley took her place at Dad's right hand. "Same as always." "This Stellar Solutions situation ends tonight," Dad began. "Does it?" I asked calmly. "You're embarrassing the family name." "I'm not using the family name anymore." "People are starting to connect the dots," Amanda said. "They're asking uncomfortable questions." "What kind of questions?" "Why the Thompson family can't control their own daughter," Ashley sneered. I actually laughed. "Is that what worries you? That people might think you failed as parents?" The room went completely silent. "We gave you everything," Dad said, his face turning red. "You gave me nothing that mattered." "We're offering you one final chance," Dad said. "Come back to Thompson Enterprises. Senior Vice President. 15% ownership." I pretended to consider it. Let them think they still had power over me. Then I smiled and delivered my answer. "No. And here's what's going to happen next." "No." Dad repeated, like he'd misheard me. "Stellar Solutions isn't going anywhere," I said calmly. "In fact, we're expanding into enterprise software development." "You can't compete with us long-term," Ashley said. "We have 40 years of reputation, established relationships, resources you'll never match." "You're absolutely right," I agreed. They looked confused. "I'll never have what you have," I continued. "I'll have something infinitely better." "Which is?" Amanda asked sarcastically. "A company that actually innovates. Employees who are treated with respect. Clients who matter more than profit margins." "This is ridiculous," Amanda said. "You're destroying family relationships for what? Some fantasy about being a tech hero?" "I'm not destroying anything," I said, standing up. "You destroyed our relationship 2 years ago when you conspired against me." I looked around the table at these people who'd shaped my entire childhood. "Here's what's going to happen," I said. "Stellar Solutions will keep growing. We'll keep winning contracts. We'll keep treating people better than you do. And then what? Dad asked. And then you'll realize your biggest mistake wasn't underestimating me. What was it? Ashley demanded. I headed for the door, then turned back with a smile. Teaching me everything you know about this business. The war was officially declared. The family dinner motivated me like rocket fuel. I threw everything into expanding Stellar Solutions. Within 6 months, we had 40 employees and contracts worth $3 million. I opened a second office downtown and hired Amanda Clark, a brilliant marketing director who'd quit Thompson Enterprises because of their toxic work culture. They offered me a promotion to keep me quiet, Amanda told me. When I suggested modernizing their approach, Ashley called me naive and idealistic. Amanda brought insider knowledge of Thompson Enterprises' weaknesses, their outdated systems, their unhappy employees, their overpriced, underdelivered contracts. Half their development team is actively job hunting, she revealed. Ashley micromanages everything. People are miserable there. This gave me a brilliant idea. What if those talented people had somewhere better to go? I asked. Amanda smiled. You want to recruit their best developers? I want to give good people better opportunities, I corrected. If Thompson Enterprises can't keep their employees happy, that's their leadership problem. The talent war was about to begin. Tyler Chun was Thompson Enterprises' lead software architect. 10 years of experience, respected by every developer, known for creating elegant solutions to complex problems. He also happened to be Amanda Clark's former colleague. Tyler is exhausted by Ashley's management style, Amanda told me. She treats programmers like code-writing machines instead of creative professionals. I asked Amanda to arrange a casual coffee meeting. Nothing official. Just conversation between industry professionals. Jamie Thompson? Tyler said, recognizing my name immediately. I heard you started your own company. Stellar Solutions, I confirmed. We're doing well. I heard about the hospital project. That was impressive work. We talked about technology, about managing development teams, about the future of software. I never once offered him a job. Instead, I asked about his goals, his frustrations, what he wished he could change about his current situation. I'd love to work on cutting-edge projects, he said. But Ashley won't approve anything innovative. She says it's too risky. What if risk wasn't a factor? I asked. His eyes lit up. You mean at Stellar? I mean wherever creativity is valued over caution. Tyler quit Thompson Enterprises the following Monday. Tyler brought 2 senior developers with him. They brought their most talented junior programmers. Within a month, Stellar Solutions had doubled our technical team while Thompson Enterprises scrambled to replace their experienced developers. This is war. Ashley screamed during a phone call I let go to voicemail. But it wasn't war. It was simple economics. Treat talented people well, and they'll choose to work with you. Treat them poorly, and they'll find someone who appreciates their abilities. The tech community talks. Word spread quickly. Stellar Solutions was the place where developers were respected, paid fairly, and given opportunities to work on meaningful projects. Thompson Enterprises' reputation became the opposite. A place where politics mattered more than performance and innovation died under micromanagement. My phone rang constantly with job applications, project requests, interview requests from technology magazines. How did you build such a strong team so quickly? A journalist asked. I didn't build anything, I replied. Other companies drove away their best people, and we were here to welcome them. The article's headline read, Stellar Rising. How one woman's vision is reshaping local tech. My family would definitely see that headline. Let them. 4 years after walking out of Thompson Enterprises, Stellar Solutions landed the biggest contract in company history, a $15 million state government software modernization project. The same project Thompson Enterprises had expected to win automatically. Instead, the state chose us. Better technology, lower cost, proven track record of delivering on promises. Stellar Solutions represents the future of government technology, the state CTO announced. Innovation, efficiency, and accountability. That evening, Dad appeared at my office. Alone. looking every one of his 62 years. "Can we talk?" he asked quietly. I gestured to the chair across from my desk. The power dynamic had completely reversed and we both knew it. "You won," he said simply. "This was never about winning. Wasn't it?" Dad looked around my successful office. "You've taken everything from us. Our employees, our contracts, our reputation in the industry." "I didn't take anything," I replied. "You lost it through poor leadership and outdated thinking. So what happens now? You destroy Thompson Enterprises completely." I leaned back in my chair, studying the man who'd raised me, taught me, then betrayed me. "What do you think should happen, Dad?" "I think," Dad paused, choosing words carefully, "we should merge the companies." I kept my expression neutral. Merge. Thompson Enterprises has legacy, established relationships, name recognition. Stellar Solutions has innovation, energy, better management practices. He leaned forward. Combined, we dominate the entire regional market. Under whose leadership? I asked. Dad winced visibly. We'd work that out together. Would we? Like you worked out my role 4 years ago? That was different. You were young and proven. I was your daughter, I said firmly. And you chose fear over faith in my abilities. Dad was quiet for a long moment. "Ashley isn't ready to lead," he admitted. "She never was. I gave her the position because she was oldest, not because she ear." "So what are you really asking me?" I said. "I'm asking you to save the family business," Dad whispered. "To come home. The family business that cast me out? The family business that made a catastrophic mistake." I looked at this broken man and felt something unexpected, pity mixed with satisfaction. "I'll consider it," I lied smoothly. I already knew my answer. The next morning, Ashley and Amanda stormed into my office together.
No appointment.
They walked past Joy like they owned the building. "We heard about Dad's pathetic visit," Ashley said. "Did you merge the companies?" Amanda laughed bitterly. "That's rich. Is there something specific you want?" I asked. "We want to make our own deal," Ashley said, sitting down uninvited.
Thomson Enterprises acquire Stellar Solutions.
"You get a generous buyout and we get your client base." "How generous?" I asked, genuinely curious. $8 million, Amanda said. "More money than you've ever dreamed of." I pretended to consider it seriously. Let them think they were negotiating from strength. $8 million for a company that just landed a $15 million contract? I said. "That contract should have been ours," Ashley snapped. "But it isn't. It's mine." "This is your final opportunity, Jamie," Amanda warned. "Take our offer or we'll make business very difficult for you." "How exactly?" Ashley smiled coldly. "We have lawyers. We have political connections. We can tie up your projects in legal challenges for years." "You could try," I agreed. "But that would be expensive. And ultimately unsuccessful." "Why unsuccessful?" Amanda asked nervously. "Because I've been documenting everything Thompson Enterprises has done wrong for 4 years." Their faces went pale instantly. "You're bluffing," Ashley said, but her voice shook. I opened my desk drawer and pulled out a thick file folder. "Want to test that theory?" The folder contained 4 years of meticulous documentation. Every Thompson Enterprises employee who'd quit and told me exactly why. Every corner they'd cut. Every client they'd overcharged. Every illegal practice Ashley had tried to hide. "This is industrial espionage," Amanda whispered, flipping through pages. "Which part? Collecting publicly available information or documenting actual misconduct?" "You can't use this against us," Ashley said desperately. "I can't use evidence of business fraud and ethics violations?" That's an interesting legal theory. The truth was, I'd never planned to use any of it maliciously. I collected the information as insurance, nothing more. But they didn't need to know that. "What do you want from us?" Ashley asked, defeated. "I want you to leave my office immediately." "No, what do you really want?" "Money. Public apology. Dad to officially name you his successor." I stood up and walked to the window overlooking the city skyline. My company was building software that would serve millions of people. "I want you to understand something." I said without turning around. 4 years ago, you cast out your own sister because you were threatened by her potential. Jamie, you didn't just hurt me, I continued. You hurt every employee you've mistreated, every client you've overcharged, every innovation you've blocked out of fear. I turned to face them. I don't want your apology. I want you to become better leaders. And if we don't? Amanda asked. Then Stellar Solutions will keep growing while Thompson Enterprises slowly dies. You'd destroy Dad's legacy? Dad's legacy was already destroyed, I said coldly. The day he chose fear over family. 8 months later, Thompson Enterprises filed for bankruptcy. 43 years of family business gone forever. The news affected me more than I'd expected. Despite everything, watching Dad's life work collapse felt like losing part of my own history. The entire family appeared at my office the day bankruptcy was announced. Even Mom, who'd remained neutral through years of conflict. I hope you're satisfied, Ashley said. Her usual arrogance was gone, replaced by exhausted defeat. I'm not satisfied, I said honestly. I'm not happy about any of this. Then why? Mom asked, speaking for the first time in months. Why did it have to come to this? It didn't have to come to anything, Mom. I just built something better than what you offered me. You could have helped us, Amanda said. Instead of competing, you could have collaborated with us. You mean I could have solved your problems while you took credit for my solutions? Dad stepped forward. He looked like he'd aged 15 years and 8 months. I failed you completely, he said simply. I failed as a father and as a business leader. But did the whole family have to pay this price? For a moment, I felt like I was 24 again, desperate for his approval and love. Then I remembered the conspiracy emails. The casual dismissal of my dreams. The years of silence after I left. The family paid the price years ago, I said. When you chose Ashley's insecurity over my potential. So this was revenge? Ashley asked. No. Y replica firmely. This was consequence. The difference mattered, even if they couldn't understand it. 6 months after Thompson Enterprises collapsed, Dad had a stroke. Not fatal, but serious enough to hospitalize him for 2 weeks. I visited once. He looked fragile in the hospital bed, connected to monitors that beeped steadily. I'm proud of what you've built, he said when he saw me. I should have said that years ago. Yes, I agreed. You should have. Can you forgive a foolish old man? I thought about it honestly. I can forgive you for being human and making mistakes, I said. But I can't forgive you for teaching Ashley and Amanda that family loyalty only goes one direction. They're struggling financially, Dad said. No tech company will hire them now. They're welcome to apply at Stellar Solutions like anyone else. Would you actually hire them? If they're qualified and willing to start at entry level? Maybe. Dad smiled weakly. That's more grace than we deserve. It's what family should do, I said. Even when family forgets what that means. I left the hospital knowing it would probably be our last meaningful conversation. Some relationships can't be fully repaired. They can only be forgiven and accepted for what they are. Stellar Solutions became the largest independent software company in the state. We employed over 300 people, held contracts worth hundreds of millions, and maintained the highest employee satisfaction ratings in the industry. But the real victory wasn't financial success. Tyler Chin became our Chief Technology Officer, leading innovation programs that other companies now study. Amanda Clark opened our Diversity and Inclusion Department, ensuring Stellar Solutions remained a place where everyone could thrive. Joy, my first employee from the coffee shop days, became a full partner in the company. From barista to boardroom, she joked during our partnership celebration. We implemented policies Thompson Enterprises had always rejected. Unlimited paid leave, full health care for families, profit sharing with all employees, and education assistance programs. Why do you invest so much in employee benefits? A business journalist asked. Because talented people are our only irreplaceable asset, I replied. Everything else is just tools and technology. The article was titled Stellar Solutions, Building More Than Software. 2 weeks later, Ashley applied for a junior project manager position. I was surprised but not shocked. Pride has limits when bills need paying. Her application was professional, her references solid. No mention of being a Thompson family member. I called her in for an interview. Ashley sat across from my desk wearing an off-the-rack suit and carrying herself like someone who'd learned humility through necessity. "Why do you want to work at Stellar Solutions?" I asked, pretending I didn't know her history. "Because you have the best reputation in the industry," she said quietly. "And because I need a job." "What happened at your previous employment?" Ashley was silent for a moment. "Family business. It didn't work out." "I see you have management experience." "Yes, but I understand this position is entry-level. I'm prepared to start anywhere and prove myself." I studied my older sister, remembering the arrogant woman who dismissed my ideas and orchestrated my exile. This person seemed genuinely different. Humbled maybe, but different. "This position requires following directions from supervisors who might be younger than you," I said. "I understand completely." "It requires admitting mistakes and learning from feedback." Ashley nodded. "I can do that. And it requires treating every person in this company with respect, regardless of their role or background." "I will," she said simply. "I made my decision. The position is yours. 6-month probationary period." "Thank you," Ashley said, standing to shake my hand. "You won't regret this decision." "I know," I replied. "Because if I do, you'll be terminated immediately." Ashley worked at Stellar Solutions for 4 years. She arrived early, followed instructions, and slowly earned respect from colleagues who never learned about her past. Amanda never applied for a position. She moved across the country, started fresh with a small marketing firm. We exchanged holiday cards but rarely spoke directly. Mom visited my office occasionally, usually with updates about Dad's recovery. He'd survived the stroke but never returned to work. Too tired, too defeated, too aware of his failures. "He watches your interviews online," Mom told me during one visit. "He's proud, even though he struggles to express it." "He could express it easily," I replied. "He chooses not to. He's ashamed of how everything happened." "He should be ashamed. But shame without change is just self-pity." But time does soften even the hardest edges. 6 years after Thompson Enterprises' bankruptcy, I invited Dad to Stellar Solutions' 10th anniversary celebration. He came, sat quietly in the back, watched me give a speech about building something meaningful from nothing. Afterward, he approached me slowly. "I was wrong about everything," he said simply. "I know you were," I replied. "Is there any chance we could try to be family again?" I looked at this man who'd shaped my life through both love and betrayal. "We'll see," I said. It wasn't forgiveness yet, but it was possibility. Today, Stellar Solutions is worth $800 million. We've developed software for hospitals, schools, government agencies, and Fortune 500 companies. Our employees own 25% of the company through our profit-sharing program. But the real success isn't measured in dollars. Ashley eventually earned a promotion to senior project manager, achieving the role through competence rather than family connections. She's a different person now. Humbler, kinder, more aware of how leadership affects others. "You gave me a second chance when you had every reason to refuse," she told me recently. "Everyone deserves a second chance," I replied. "But very few people get a third opportunity." Dad passed away peacefully 3 years ago. Heart failure in his sleep. At his funeral, I spoke about the man who taught me that technology should serve humanity. I didn't mention the betrayal or conspiracy. Some stories are too complex for eulogies. Mom still lives in the family house. I visit every other Sunday, and we talk about everything except the painful past. Stellar Solutions continues expanding nationwide. We're launching operations in 5 new states next year. But our core principles remain unchanged. Treat people with dignity, build excellent products, and remember that success shared is success multiplied. People often ask about my startup success story. They want the secret to building an empire from nothing. The secret is simple. When they cast you out, don't waste energy on hatred. Invest that energy in becoming everything they said you could never be. That's how a star rises from darkness to light the entire sky. If this story moved you, Don't forget to like the video, subscribe for more powerful narratives, and share your thoughts in the comments. We'd love to hear what part hit you the hardest. Thanks for watching.